I tend to focus a lot of my camera accessory videos around, can I use this as a daily vlogging type utility? So the thing we're going to take a look at today is no exception to that. A company called Vwalker reached out to me and said, hey, we make this smartphone stabilizer, do you want to check it out? Yeah, I do. And here it is, so today we're going to take a look at it. This is again the Vwalker Detachable 3-axis handheld gimbal for smartphone, compatible with 4.5 to 6-inch smartphones. Looking at the back, you can see exactly how it is detachable. Basically, it's got a little cable with the whole remote over to this side, but you can use it in the full grip mode as well. Here's all the rotation axes, how much it will turn around and everything, the button configuration, mode button, left, right, up and down, USB power port, as well as speed control. It also mentions in the features over here, it has 3-axis brushless motors, 3 different control modes, so heading follow mode, heading lock mode, and heading pitch follow mode. Works for 4 hours on the power supply, so I'm intrigued. Inside of the box, you get a carrying case. Goodbye box. Very nice carrying case, I will say. But inside of the carrying case, you get a user manual with all that same sort of information we saw on the outside, and a whole breakdown of what you're going to expect to get in the box and how to install it and adjust it and what the indicator lights mean and everything. You also get a couple of 18350 batteries and a charger for them that's micro USB powered. You get a micro USB cable, a strap, presumably to attach to the case here, presumably the extension piece, so you put one side on the gimbal, one side on the handle, and then be able to control it remotely. You get the handle where the gimbal or the attachment is going to go, and the bottom just unscrews to put those batteries inside. Again, you do have your buttons here. They are very clicky. There's your status LED, speed control here on the side, micro USB port on the other side, and then the rest of this is just the gimbal. So this is the portion where it will attach to the handle or to the remote piece. And actually, I did not expect this. It's going to have a GoPro mount on the back of it. So if you wanted to attach it to your bike or to a chest harness or to a helmet or something, in theory, you could do that. Possibly even use the whole remote setup with all of this to control it from here while it's mounted up on your helmet or on your chest or outside of the car or something. But in terms of putting it together, it looks like you just line all the pins up, push it into place, and then give it a twist. And yeah, we're locked in firmly. I'll also go ahead and get the batteries installed. And if I'm seeing it right, there's a button on the bottom that appears to be the power button. So yeah, hit the button, has red LEDs. And we're back. It took me just a minute to actually figure out how this thing works appropriately. Basically, what you have to do in order to get this to work is balance it 100%. I found a video on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and link to that down below, which basically says hold this so it is facing down and then get your phone so that it will stay horizontal. So adjust the screw on the back so it'll stay horizontal. Put it upright so it's facing basically like this, perpendicular to the ground, and adjust it left to right in the bracket so that it will stay basically right there in the center. And then adjust the third time front to back to keep it from rotating, something like that basically. But at this point, if I go ahead and turn it on with everything in place appropriately, the light turns red and then blue, and actually it turned green just a minute. Yeah, it's green now, which means that it is balanced. That means that it does have the right amount of battery power, and it is staying pretty stable actually. I did mess with this just a little bit just to see what it would do and how it would work. It does have some minor adjustments. If I use the left and right button, as you can see there, it's sort of compensating. The up and down buttons don't appear to actually be doing anything. If I change the mode, they do something. So if I press the button twice, it gets to a mode where I can do all 4, pan and tilt and everything. And without wasting any more of your time, I guess it's probably time to go ahead and turn on the phone camera and walk around a little bit. Maybe do some front facing and rear facing. We'll get to that. And here we are using the front-facing camera on my iPhone 7. Just picked the iPhone because that's what I had in my pocket at the time. But as you can see, walking around with it here a little bit, everything appears to be nice and smooth and stable. I'm not going to speak to the camera quality here because as I go into different lighting scenarios, the video quality is going to change. But now we'll flip around to the back-facing camera and just do some walking around with that. And now just a quick sort of a pan around my office so you can see how everything's laid out. There's my whole filming rig, and if I point it down manually using the truck, yeah, you can see how I've got everything set up right now. I've got the XLR cable going to my Focusrite, going to my laptop where I'm doing all the recording, hue lights in the corner, and the whole, yeah, I'm liking this new setup. Anyway, continuing to walk through the house. Pretty sure this thing is not waterproofed, and of course the phone does not do particularly well in the wind, but just thought we'd walk outside here with it very quickly. Not going to get it wet in the rain or anything, but very nice, smooth panning and everything. And if I try the different modes, I'm in the second mode right now, I think. So first mode should just sort of follow slowly whatever I'm trying to do. The second mode, it kind of sticks in one position, but not 100%. The third mode, it attempts to stay right on one spot, even if I go down or up, or to the sides. So that's that. And now back in the office, I've gone ahead and switched over to using the remote setting. So I've got this set up on a tripod here, but using this in the mode 2 where I have all the controls, I can do left, I can do right, I can do down, and I can do up. So in terms of using this as something like a follow cam, this is a pretty interesting option. And we're back. So to go ahead and sort of round this up, initial thoughts and impressions on this device, I'm conflicted. From what I could see, it was able to do really nice, really smooth, stable footage, but to get it to that point, it took a lot of time. A lot of time specifically balancing out the phone and multiple different angles, and just the slightest little change, it needed to be rebalanced every time. At this point, I've got it kind of to where I can just sort of do that and it will get back to where it needs to be, but if I take this phone out, which I'm gonna be doing a lot, I'm gonna have to completely rebalance this every time. I can get it sort of close, but still, knowing that it takes a few minutes, it's not going to be a run and gun kind of thing, which you normally would want. I've used one other smartphone stabilizer in the past, that was the Kumba Cam. Absolutely love that thing. It was just lacking in one real area for me, and it didn't have buttons to do the pitch and roll and then the up and down. It didn't have all of those features, whereas this one does, and it has multiple different modes for things. The other really unique feature about this, like I said before, is it does have that remote capability. It's a little fiddly. The connectivity, the way that all these things attach on, it takes a little time to make it happen. So if you have all the time to set up the shots and everything, it could be a really cool little device. Just keep in mind that this is going to be adding an additional $200 to your video making budget, as it were, which might not be the best option for everybody out there. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to it and testing it out for other things going forward. I've also got another gimbal I'm going to be taking a look at that I purchased myself, but that's not for a smartphone. It's actually for this type of camera, so be on the lookout for that video coming up soon as well. But thanks so much to Vwalker for sending this out for me to take a look at. Things have definitely come a long way since the last smartphone stabilizer I used, but at the same time, the fact you have to do all the balancing by yourself manually because the motors don't seem to be capable of finding that stability on their own does kind of bug me about it. Either way, I'll put a link to where you can find it down in the video description if you're interested in checking it out. Thank you guys as always for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked it. And if you're new to the channel, if you liked what I do here, hit the subscribe button down below. Definitely helps out. And it lets you know anytime I put out new videos. But we will see you again next time.